The Real History of Vampires, Chapter 3. The sudden demise of the Duke of Norfolk was swiftly investigated by the vampires, and it wasn't long before foul play was identified as the cause. On the day of the Duke's memorial service, the vampires planned their revenge. Although the king seemed uninterested, the queen campaigned for a more peaceful solution. Unfortunately, the king was not the only member of royalty that was easy to distract. Nothing stood in the way of the vampires' terrible retribution, and it was swift, brutal, and global. Around the world, the carnage started. It was the same performance everywhere, only the scenery changed. The vampires caught the careless and the unfortunate. Those that remained were stronger and tougher than ever, hardened by loss and toughened by their experiences. The predators felt safe, believing they had the capability to see all, but their confidence was misplaced. They didn't notice everything. Humanity's last hope came from an unlikely source, a small Welsh religious group. The Gardeners, as they were called, were a secluded cult-like sect that believed in being close to nature, and they were rumored to have mystical powers. They forswore soap and traditionally greeted visitors by throwing rocks at them, which is why they were secluded. The group kept themselves to themselves in their remote village, and the vampires had left Wales untroubled during the violence, partly because sheep blood gave them indigestion, and partly because vampires loved the opera. The Welsh, as passionate and talented vocalists, were regarded almost fondly by the vampires, in much the same way an old lady might feel about her singing parrot. A select few gardeners were chosen at a young age to learn the sacred secrets of the group, the mystical powers that were talked about in hushed conversations at the yearly sheep festival. After completing their studies and imbued with the knowledge of the gods, the lucky few vowed to spend the rest of their lives locked up in small metal boxes in dark basements so they could meditate on the mysteries of the universe. As the vampiric bloodbath decimated the world and the last remaining garlic mines were closed worldwide, something happened in the idyllic Welsh hillside home of the Gardeners. For the first time ever, an enlightened one left his metal box and announced to the astounded Gardeners that he knew what had to be done. The Gardeners would share with the world their arcane knowledge. It was a secret that would have destroyed the mining industry had it got out, so the elders of the group had decided long ago to keep the status quo, to save mining and keep the secret of garlic that didn't have to be mined hidden, known only to a select few locked in small metal boxes. The Gardeners shared their knowledge with local farmers, who in turn passed it on to farmers further afield, and so on, until eventually small patches of garlic grew covertly all around the world.